Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for SUI render and FET price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna start with SUI here, where we see of course higher prices given for SUI. As expected, we were mentioning that this might be an A, B, and a C. At least the 1-to-1 fib level has to be taken at 1.54, or we are in a 1-2 here, and we're looking for a potential wave 3 toward the upside to unfold. Basically, that is a good signal. Of course, we didn't took the 886 from this 1-2, so it can play as a 1-2 there very nicely, knowing that the time is a little bit long, but of course, it's never been an invalidation. We hit exactly the perfect target for wave 2, and we start to see something pushing for higher prices there. Now, basically, since we are in a good position here for an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I'm looking for this target at least at the 1.0 fib level at the 1.54 here. And in case that we break this level for higher, that means of course the wave 3 is still unfolding for something higher, and we are currently looking at a bigger A, B, and a C, and this wave C is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here, that it might reach the 1.83. By all means, you have two targets. TP1, I would say, is of course the 1.54. In case we see continuation impulsively toward the upside, something like that, that means of course the next target might be the 1.83. Now, can we be very bullish there? Well, of course, in case that we take the invalidation of anything bearish there, meaning if we are here in potential 1, 2, 1, 2, and then wave 3, and this is a wave 4 here, which I doubt it anyway. Basically, you can count that this is kind of like invalidation, but of course, you can still have something unfolding for lower prices, because don't forget that this can play as a 1, 2, and a wave 3 finished over there, and this is a longer wave 4 that it might still, of course, need a lot to invalidate this. So we need, of course, even higher prices. But of course, it depends on the structure here. We're going to estimate the structure, what it's going to be. However, because of course of the 886 taken over there, so I believe that these lows has to be taken yet. Okay, it has to be taken sooner or later. But of course, an ABC correction here is essential, I would say, as a recovery, and then pushing probably lower for wave 5 again to finish up, of course, this diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 there. And in this case, for SUI, I would consider that this is a finished ABC there. Yeah, in our perfect blue box, maybe even not hitting the blue box to the $1. It can be simply taking the low. Yeah, simply taking the low here, kind of like an ABC, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, simply taking the low and starting to push impulsively again toward the upside. So for SUI, I would say it is a very nice price action that we are looking at, especially on the KGT, the 1-minute chart. Well, the indication was already given. As you can see, of course, a very nice divergence here for the bullish and between the price and the CVD, and double signal. So when we see always double signal on the KGT, the second signal, of course, is gonna explode something toward the upside, and this is exactly what we are looking at. Now, the second signal here for the bearish, it is higher than the previous one, meaning, of course, there is no convergence here within the price action. We don't see, of course, something toward the downside. It should be, of course, this signal should be lower than the previous one, and of course, the price should be in convergence with it to call a bearish signal. So this is a weak signal. We can say it's a weak one, and as you can see, after it, we start to see, of course, a higher prices again. And that because, of course, this signal has passed the previous one. It should stay below it to affect something really bearish. So I would say very nice price for SUI. It shows, of course, a signal of strength. I'm looking for higher, probably first target 1.54, second target 1.83 dollars. Yep, that was it for SUI. Let's see render. For render as well, we are looking here at our blue box after the hit that we got, of course, at the 0.618. We got a hit for the blue box, our target, and on the 1-hour chart here, we start to see, of course, something pushing for higher. Now, at least I'm looking for this wave C as a regular flat potentially, because, of course, well, you can count this as an impulse there, but I don't like, of course, I mean, anyway, you have to take it as an expanding diagonal, whether you are in an A, B, C, or you are in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Yeah, both case scenario. But also, the wave 3 is doubtful here. It looks very short for me. I don't know. It looks shorter a little bit than the wave 1. But anyway, both case scenario can be, of course, a wave A, B, and a C, and 1-to-1 Fib level to be hit. Now, in case we are hitting this 1-to-1 Fib level, now as you can see, a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, currently unfolding a wave 4 right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're looking for wave 5, but this is your wave 3, 4, and a 5. Yeah, so let me label this for you to not get lost. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and we're looking for another 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5 here to finish in white. Yeah, and this is going to finish our wave C, our wave 4, in case we're still looking for lower. Okay, and that means, yeah, that means you might finish, sorry, wave 3 there, can be a little bit higher, and then wave 4 and a wave 5 in case we are very impulsive. But so, breaking this area, 1.41, breaking it decisively, and looking for more higher prices here, that means it is a wave 3, you might have a wave 4 and a wave 5. We're turning bullish here. Yeah, so you got a structure which is bullish, impulsive toward the upside. So this might be, of course, a case scenario, meaning this is playing as an impulse 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and a 5. Yep, so very nice also for render. I would say even the structure here is done and finished in our blue box. So it would be preferable if we see render pushing for higher. And to be very clear here, render is one of the clearest altcoins. By all means, before this bear market and this drop that we got, render was one of the most honest altcoins that we have seen within the price, because after the drop here, it has shows already, of course, the triangle. It has shown a triangle, and it was suggesting already that we're gonna drop. And because of that, of course, we saw, of course, this massive drop. And because of that, even I was very sure that we are in a bear market there for the altcoins, because not only render but also FET, which we're gonna see later. Now, also, I see some clarity as well with this correction, much more than other coins. By all means, I'm seeing here kind of like A, B, and a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 finished ending diagonal. So I can call this structure is finished, guys, and I'm looking for something really high here. So it is kind of like much more clearer than other altcoins. And of course, I would say that this is a very likely potential scenario that we push for higher even in an impulse toward the upside. Yep, this is regarding render. For FET is the same thing. It was one of the most honest altcoins within this triangle, and we have detected our bear market very early because of it, honestly, because of render and FET. And we start to see, of course, this drop toward the downside. Now, for me, this one is also kind of like can be a finished structure. Why? Because it can be a 3 ways down for W. You got 3 ways up for the X, and you can have already a finished structure already there. Now, it can be an ABC. The wave C is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 ending diagonal, and you might start to see, of course, something pushing for higher. However, because of this is very annoying, very messy price action, and a very corrective sideways. Now, you can count this, of course, an impulse, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but this is horrible, right? It can be much more likely as a wave B there. And that means, of course, you might be looking here at an A, B, and a C. Yeah, sorry, it should start from there. So let me remove this. So we have what's going on? An A, B, C. So yeah, so this is what I'm looking for. And basically, we might have a 1-to-1 Fib level here, at least as a zigzag, so to be watched. So 0.22 here, dollar for FET, very likely. Now, if this is going to transform to something as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, signal is to break this level. So by all means, right now, my priority is to break this level or to hit it and see the reaction there. 3 ways or 5 ways. Yeah, so this is a question mark. And then, of course, we're gonna reanalyze and we'll see what's gonna be over there. But this is to be watched. If broken, decisively, well, you can take into consideration, of course, the 1.618 for FET can be very likely in case that we see something pushing really higher, which it can be 0.2025, let's say, yes, very close or around it, yeah. So this can be, of course, a target for wave 3. But first, target we'll see, of course, the 0.22 or 0.23 around it as well. Yep, that was it for the SUI render and FET. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.